Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm an occupational therapy student at the University of Texas at Tyler. Um, as a OT practitioner, I've always been a big proponent of leisure activity. I don't think we get to address that enough. So, any chance I get, I like to jump into leisure pursuits just because I think they're vital to our mental well-being, not to mention our social well-being, our cognitive well-being, and our physical well-being. So I think anytime that we can delve into this topic is a good opportunity. And today I'm going to share with you my favorite leisure activity, which is fly fishing. And I'm just going to kind of show you how to rig up your pole and talk about some of the flies I use and just go through a setup um, before you jump on a body of water. Um, I wish I was near a body of water right now instead of in my living room, but maybe later this week we can get that done. But for now, let's jump into this. I've got my reel, which is loaded with the fly line. This particular reel and fly line is set up for, I don't know if you can read that. It's a 6 weight. So you want to make sure that your fly line matches your reel and your rod weight, or else you're not going to get good action when you're casting this bad boy. Usually these, the rod itself, usually they're about 9 foot long and they come in 3 to 4 pieces. So the first part obviously is going to be getting your reel all set up, or your rod, I'm sorry. You're gonna do that by just connecting these biggest to smallest. It's tapered rod, starts thick, it thins out at the end. And you just wanna make sure that those eyelets line up nice and straight all the way down. Sometimes these rods give you a visual. They got a couple of dots on there that you can line up. Make sure that your eyelets are straight. So I'm gonna hook up my 4 pieces here. I'm gonna make sure that the eyelets are straight. They're all lined up. It looks good. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is we need to take out a lot of fly line. We're gonna run our fly line through each eyelet, starting with the closest to the reel. So we just run it through here. Next one. Next one. Just running it all the way up. It's important that you don't miss an eyelet. I've done it before, and you'll encounter some messes. This fly line will catch on any and everything it can, including a missed eyelet. So it can really ruin your day. If you miss an eyelet, you have to go back and set this whole thing up again. So now that I've strung my fly line all the way to the last eyelet. You next need to add what's you called your leader. Your leader is just, it's like fluorocarbon. It's like fishing line you would typically see when you're doing any type of fishing. You call it fishing wire, fishing string. This is tapered, Again, so it starts off nice and thick, thins out as you go along. By the time you get to the end, you're gonna have this nice thin line that you're actually gonna attach your fly to. This one is a 9 foot, 5X, 5 pound test. Maybe a little heavy. I'm in New Mexico, do a lot of mountain stream fishing. I don't catch a lot of 5 pound fish, but if I do, I'll be ready, right? So to connect this line to your fly line, you want to have a nice loop tied at the end of your fly line. You're going to attach the leader to the fly line. By the way, your leader has a loop on it as well. They usually come pre-tied like this. If not, you can just tie your own real quick. The way you attach the leader to the fly line is we're going to insert the fly line loop through the loop on the leader. Then we're going to take the end of our leader if I can find it. And then we'll string the end of that leader through the loop in your fly line, pull it all the way through. This is going to give you a really nice, secure knot between your fly line and your leader. These leaders, they come coiled and they have memory. So it's nice to have this leather line straightener. And I'm just gonna run my leader through that leather real quick, because it can be a pain to try to tie a fly on here if this thing is all coiled up. So after running it through the straightener, you can see that I have nice straight line with little memory of that coil that I was in. So the next part is one of the more difficult parts. So depending on where you're fishing, you need to decide what type of fly you're going to use. The flies vary. We got big guys like this who might imitate something swimming in the water. You might have something like this that imitates an egg during spawning season. You got this guy, you might imitate a grasshopper floating on top of the water. You might have something like this guy who imitates a fly that just hatched under the water column. He's made his way to the top. Fish love these guys. They love coming up and gulping them off the top. You might go to the microscopic level. I don't know if you can see that. These are not uncommon here in New Mexico, and these are actually what I like to fish with. So this is what I'm going to choose. We like to use these little guys because fish love them. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to the end of your leader. You are going to insert it through the very small eyelet of your fly. Take you a good little amount of string out like that from the fly. I don't know if you can see them on there. And what I like to do, and this is a very common knot that fishermen use, is I'm gonna pinch off here and I'm gonna give this guy a good 6, 7, maybe as many as 8 twists. That's going to give you a little tiny loop there at the base of your fly and your line. You got to take your line and fit it through that loop. And then we're going to pull them tight. So we should have a real nice tight knot there at the base. It's always important that you kind of clip off any excess line. The fish will see it. They don't like it. It'll hinder your fishing day. So now that we've done that, we're pretty much ready to fish. I'm kind of sad that I'm in my living room instead of not next to a body of water, because I really want to go throw this in. But in all honesty, fly fishing is a really terrific leisure activity that is available to people of all capabilities. If you're a caregiver, don't feel like being a participant in fishing is out of the question. Someone who's at the sensory level may like to hear running water. They might want to hear splashing water. It'd be good for them to hear birds in the water, or just anything of that nature. People who feel like they can't get out and physically participate in fly fishing, maybe you want to delve into tying flies. Maybe you want to get out and take pictures of fish rising for flies. Submit them to fly fisherman magazines or articles. There are just a number of ways that you can get involved in this activity without actually performing the activity itself. So I would encourage anyone to, with any leisure activity, just think outside the box. Always remember to break it down and just think about how you can get involved in any way, even if you can't perform the activity itself directly. Us occupational therapy practitioners, we love to talk about how we can upgrade or downgrade activities, and fly fishing, or just fishing in general, is one that I feel like we can really do that. We can make it so that anybody can be involved. So I'm just glad I got to share my favorite hobby with you. I hope anyone who's been an angler or who is interested in angling can get involved in any way they can, no matter what their abilities are. So tight lines, enjoy yourself, have fun. Thank you.